All right, next on our agenda was the diversity committee report. We will be moving that to tomorrow afternoon, I believe. And so we're going to circle back to earlier in our day, Executive Director Nevitt's report.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. A few things from my written report that I'd like to touch on. And actually, yes, my written report is at page 66 of the regular materials, and there's a supplement in the late materials at page 16. Sort of one of the things that many of our employees are engaged in right now is preparing for the July bar exam, which will be held later this month for approximately 780 lawyers, LPO, and triple LT candidates. This is going to be our second and likely our last remote exam. We are currently planning an in-person exam for February 2022 to be held in Linwood. And we're also planning our July 2022 exam to be held in Yakima. For a few years now, we've held most of our bar exams in Tacoma, but based on feedback from stakeholders that there would be value in moving it around, we opted to hold this one in Linwood and also Yakima, and also due to the availability of the convention center in Tacoma. I also wanted to highlight from my report that the court took action on a number of proposed rules and rule amendments in June, and there are two that are pretty significant that I wanted to highlight, including a change to mandatory continuing legal education and a change to the rules of professional conduct relating to malpractice insurance. So the first, relating to mandatory continuing legal education, beginning September 1st, 2022, so not this coming September, but next, licensed legal professionals will be required to obtain one of their required 6 ethics credits per reporting period in the category of equity, inclusion, and the mitigation of bias in the legal profession and the practice of law. As you all know, this change was proposed by the Mandatory Continuing Legal Education Board, which is a Supreme Court board administered by the Bar Association, and it was supported by the Board of Governors. In terms of changes to the rules of professional conduct, beginning this September, RPC 1.4 will require disclosure of a lawyer's malpractice insurance status to clients and prospective clients if the lawyer's insurance does not meet minimum levels. This change was proposed by the Board of Governors. We are working hard to make sure that all members will be aware of both of these changes and figuring out what kind of education opportunities we can offer to help everyone be in compliance. I also wanted to highlight that following discussions about promoting the diversity of members of WSBA committees, task forces, and boards at the most recent meeting of the Equity and Disparity Work Group, as well as at the Executive Committee, we partnered with the Joint Minority Mentorship Program to host a program about serving on WSBA committees. The program was focused on several existing opportunities and a discussion of why diversity matters. This program was held last night. The speakers were Bruce Turcott, Chair of the Board of Bar Examiners, Narasa Patrick, Chair of the Character and Fitness Board, and Brian Newharth, Chair of the WYLC, which is the Washington Young Lawyers Committee. That's all I have. I'm happy to take any questions. Governor Williams here.
Thank you, Director Nevitt. Just hearkening back to my day of taking the bar exam, I'm curious about Linwood for 2 reasons. Number one is the availability and proximity for hotel rooms. And number 2, the number of parking spaces. Because just according to their website, they have 400 complimentary parking spaces. And if we are having 683 people taking the bar exam, I'm curious about that level of logistics, and if you could talk to me about that.
Sure, and I'm going to defer to Chief Regulatory Counsel Garcia.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. That's a great question. The February exam is the smaller exam, so we usually may have about 250 or so people testing. So the July exam is the one that we would have 650, 700 people.
And just to follow up, I'm assuming that we've judged that there will be sufficient hotel rooms and parking spots for the February exam at the Linwood site.
Right. Yeah. And it was really truly availability of Tacoma Convention Center, and then just finding a location. It was a bit difficult. But yes, thank you.
And I'm curious, are those within walking distance? I mean, again, I don't know that the paranoias from 2001 when I took the bar exam are the same now, but the fear of getting in a car accident on the way to is one of the reasons why I had a hotel within walking distance of the bar exam site. So, I mean, I've only been to, I've been to the convention center in Linwood for a Disney thing. And I just remember that it wasn't immediately as pedestrian friendly as Tacoma, Seattle, Bellevue, Spokane as those convention centers. So
Go ahead, Chief Garcia.
Yeah, that's a great question. I haven't seen a map, and Gus Quinones is the one who went and did a in-person walkthrough of the venues. So I'll be happy to come back and bring more information next time, or share materials to be added to the memo that Tara sends. Other than that, I don't have any further information. We are really focused on the July exam, so I can't speak much on the February exam, but I'll be happy to come back and provide a map. And we'll provide all the information we can to applicants as the time comes.
Any other questions? All right, thank you for that, Governor Williams.
All right. Next on our agenda are several items. This one?
Yeah.
All right. Should also take a break. It's been. Okay. Why don't we take a 15-minute break to, what is it, 2:40? Yeah, jelly beans. All get yourself some jelly beans. Oh, thank you. All right. All right, we're in recess until 2:40. Thank you.